Hey everyone, it's Stella Grizont from WUPA doing a Work Happier Weekly to help you work happier and live better because you spend most of your waking hours at your job. So we got to make it meaningful and matter. Today and right now, I don't know if you can hear, it is pouring cats and dogs. Anyone in New Jersey, New York, it's probably totally pouring like crazy and thunderstorming. So I don't know if you can hear that, but that's what's happening. Um, so I today was giving a workshop for the Wall Street Journal, and we spent about two and a half hours ish together, and then I drove home for about an hour. And you guys, I'm like wiped out. So if I slur my words, you know why. I had an awesome time, but I love it when I'm in the moment, and then afterwards I'm ready for a big nap, like a 24-hour nap. So anyway, though, hey Ashley. So what I want to talk to you about today is how do you deal with chronic complainers? So whether it's at the office or your family or someone you love or a friend who is always complaining, how do you deal with them? What exactly do you say? And I'm imagining if you're interested in this topic, you've probably, even though you care about this person, or maybe you don't have a relationship with this person, maybe they're just a colleague, but you feel that negative energy start to seep into you, right? And that's because our emotions are contagious. So just like the flu, we can catch someone's bad mood and we can catch someone's good mood. But if they're complaining, it kind of brings things down a bit. But here's the good news. If you are aware and you are present when you are in front of someone who's complaining and you notice it, then what happens is rather than catching it like a cold, right, as if someone just sneezed on you, you're aware and you notice it. So your consciousness no longer confuses their bad mood as registering as, oh, I'm receiving a bad mood, I'm getting a bad mood. Because if you think about it, one reason why emotions are contagious is because we have mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are the reason why when we see someone smiling, we want to smile. When we see someone really upset, we kind of mirror that. That's how we get to subconsciously read one another and get a sense of where we're at. This helps us be empathetic. My face doing what your face doing immediately translates to me a possible experience you might be having. So when someone is complaining, it's natural for us to mirror their experience, to plug into their suffering. But if we're conscious, if we're alert, if we're present, we can say, oh, there's Amy and she's having a really bad day and she's complaining. And I'm noticing myself get a little bit impacted by her complaining. So, what can I do? So, if you have the awareness to stay present and just notice what's happening with Amy, rather than letting it kind of invade your own territory, just watching Amy, not judging Amy, but just observing her, looking at her, hearing what she's saying, looking at her face. What you can start to do is by being pure presence in front of her, sometimes that will dissolve whatever's up for Amy, just by not judging and looking. Most of the time, when someone's complaining, what we end up doing is jumping in and adding fuel to the fire. Like, oh my God, how could he say that? Or that's ridiculous. I can't believe you have to do that report all over again. So, what do? We just like make that fire even louder and brighter. Instead, if we're pure presence and we're not adding fuel to the fire, we're just listening, then what happens is it kind of works itself out of Amy. But let's say it doesn't work itself out. What else could you do? One thing you could do is just with your words, acknowledge where Amy is at and say, "Oh man, Amy, I'm so sorry. You seem like you're really having a hard time with this, and I can see it's really frustrating." And then you just leave it at that observation. What you're doing is you're acknowledging Amy. "Oh, hey, Amy, this is not about you, Amy." But it's good to see you guys here. So, what you're doing is you're acknowledging her feelings and you're playing back what you're seeing without judgment. You're not trying to fix anything. Again, that might be a moment where things start to soften for Amy. She might become more aware of what's happening. Sometimes we're not conscious of our own complaining. There's a great quote by Will Bowen. It says, "Complaining is like bad breath. You notice it when someone else does it, but you notice someone when someone else does it, but you don't notice when it's coming out of your own mouth." So your presence, you're just acknowledging her feelings, that may help dissolve and shift her attention. So let's say that doesn't help. Okay, what else could you do? You could ask a question to change the track of her thoughts. So you could say, "Oh man, Amy, that's really tough. I can see you're experiencing so much frustration. What is something that you want to do to alleviate this?" And you can ask her a question to see if she has any ideas of how to move out of it. Or you could just say, "What would be most supportive right now? Would you like me to just listen? Would you like me to help you problem solve? How can I be most helpful?" That's another thought. So let's say that still doesn't shift anything. Another thing you could do for chronic complainers is you could also just let them know how you feel. So if they are complaining and you really aren't up for it today, you also don't have the presence and the compassion in you right now. Maybe it's been a long day and you just don't have it. What I'd suggest is you do muster up enough compassion to say something like this: "Oh, Amy, like I see you're really frustrated and I'm so sorry it's been a difficult day for you. I totally get it. To be honest, I've been working really hard to really manage my thoughts and my feelings. It's been a rough week for me as well. And I don't think I can be supportive in this conversation right now. And so, what I'd like to do is maybe could we press pause and revisit this later? Or do you mind if we shift gears? Or I'm also cool just meeting up at another time." So you're letting them know that I really can't handle this right now, and you're offering them some options. And last but not least, if none of those work, you could also just say, "Oh man, I have a meeting," or "Oh man, I have to go use the restroom," or "Oh, I have to go grab a coffee." So I would say that's probably your last resort. But I would certainly start with just acknowledging this person's feelings and trying not to judge them, because we all fall into this trap of complaining. And what we all want at the end of the day is just to be seen and recognized. And that may just do the trick. And I totally get it that sometimes it feels toxic. Sometimes it brings your mood down when someone's complaining all the time. Oh, I totally, totally get it. But if you're able to just get into your heart space, have some compassion, and listen, not add any fuel to the fire, but just say, I see you that you're really having a hard time, that may just be enough to transition them and to make them more conscious of what's going on. So, what do you guys think? What do you do when someone's complaining all the time? Any good ideas? Hey, you guys, it's good to see so many awesome faces. Hey, John. Hey, Boya. Hi, Biana. Andrea. Awesome. I love seeing you guys here. So, do you want to share? Is there someone in your life? You don't have to tell me who. Do you have a specific challenge with someone who's chronically complaining that you want to like brainstorm on right now? or any ideas or thoughts to share on top of this? Because I think this is a hot topic for most of us. So, what I will say also is you could also take the lead maybe in the conversation. If you know someone has a tendency to complain, you could ask a question that is appreciative in nature. So you could say like, hey, what are you looking forward to today? Or, hey, tell me something. I like to start off my meetings uh, talking, like asking folks, like, what are you grateful for? So those are other ways to kind of hedge or manage the conversation and keep it in a positive place. So, with that, you guys, there's your bundle of ways to deal with chronic complainers. I'm going to be, I am going to be doing a webinar for Biz Library, and we'll be announcing. I'll give you the link to that in our newsletter. If you're not on our, hey Spencer, if you're not on my newsletter, you can sign up at whoopa.com. And you can just scroll down to the bottom, give me your email, and then I'll be sending an email out soon with a link to a free webinar that I'll be doing. And then I'll be speaking, I'll be doing a keynote for the Wellness Council of America. There's going to be a conference in Philadelphia, the 26th to the 28th. So I'll be doing something there. Maybe I'll see any people who work in wellness there. And then a recording of my Happify webinar is out, and also I'll provide that in the upcoming newsletter. So with that, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope I made sense today. Like I said, I just gave like a 2.5 hour workshop for the Wall Street Journal, and I am toast. So I'm just going to go sit in my pajamas right now and watch some Netflix. And I hope you guys have an awesome night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.